And we'll see what Facebook will say. It looks perfect. It looks good. Welcome to the Way Showers Talk, Beata. Nice to see you here.
Thank you, Joe. I'm really honored to be invited and to be here with you and your audience, my audience, and whoever wants to join us today.
Absolutely. Sharing is caring. And I believe in cooperation because the more people will see, the more people will hear, the more people can widen their awareness about what is available. The reason for starting this Way Showers talk in the first place was to spread the knowledge and experience from people from around the world that I have access to, simply because when I was at the beginning stage of my awakening to higher awareness or to knowledge or to mindset game, I was desperately looking for advice, but I didn't know who to ask, where to look. At that moment, YouTube wasn't what it is now, so I'm sharing what I can and bringing our audience what I feel that it will be beneficial for them. The second reason as well, when I was talking before launching this project was, as a foreigner at the time, I was living abroad in country. A lot of people coming into country, fighting with challenges at the beginning. But I know that we can share those experiences for people that are starting or beginning now, or they will be in the future, because as we know from our teachers, this video can be viewed in 10 or 20 years and can help someone that we might not even realize. If you allow me, Beata, I will give a little intro about yourself to our audience. Beata Seweryn-Reid is not only my friend, she's leadership keynote speaker, leadership coach, personal performance mentor, author, and a lot more, because we can't fit everything just into titles, right? Beata came from Poland to United States. I believe she lives now in Colorado Springs.
That's right.
She was awarded as a Woman of Excellence in year 2019 by the Women's of Economic Forum in India. That's a massive achievement.
Thank you.
I see that you came from Poland in 2011 to United States. I'll start with that. What made you make a decision to move countries? Because it might sound easy, but I know from my personal experience that it's not easy to move motherland or your home environment where you have friends and family and just go and live abroad. So what was your main reason for that?
Oh my gosh, I already love that conversation. First of all, because, well, my home is Poland, now US, but yeah, we are neighbors, Slovakia, Poland, oh my gosh. So my heart is there. But main reason why I came to United States, well, to our audience, if anyone is listening, maybe you want to share with us, what is the main reason that make you to do something that you don't really maybe want to, you're not sure? It is, yeah, I won't wait for your reply, but for me and for my clients and people that I work with, it's always some kind of change that is painful, and this pain is bigger than your desire to stay where you are. So in my case, I came to US because life kicked me in the butt, if I can say that. I was in a relationship for a long time and ready to get married and all this stuff. You know, it's what they taught us. You go to school, you work 9 to 5, you get married, have family. This is the structure. And I'm from very small village in Poland, so I was following the structure. But at that time fiance, he decided to start life with someone else. So our relationship ended. And it was a really long time for us, and I couldn't kind of find myself, what we say, or couldn't really, I lost my identity, because very often we see ourselves through our relationships, through our jobs, or whatever we identify with, because we are used to it. It's what we have every single day. So our relationship ended in probably 2009, and I moved to Warsaw, the capital city, from my little town. But to make the whole story short, I always laughed that, now I laugh, but at that time I was really depressed. I lost my self-confidence, and really wasn't sure who I am and where I'm gonna go from that experience. So moving to Warsaw, it was a really huge step from a little small village that I used to live in. But at some point, is what I love about today, is I decided that Poland is not big enough to carry my pain. So I had to go across the ocean. That is important also, because years later, I realized that very often when we are in a painful situations, or situations that we don't appreciate, we tend to run away so we don't feel the pain, instead of running towards something better. And I think at that time I was running away from what was painful, instead of seeing it as a running towards something what I really desire, the healthy relationship and better life. So I moved to the United States in 2011. And I also laugh, I came with 2 suitcases, because it's what they allowed you on the plane. But the real luggage, the hundreds kilograms of luggage were here on my shoulders. That this invisible luggage that I brought with me, the limiting story that I was telling myself about who I am, what can I achieve or not, because I'm not anymore with that person. So, and you, Joe, talk a lot about mindset, and it's where we met. And it was the mindset that really was struggling and creating the pain that I was experiencing at that time. It wasn't the circumstances, because people are together, then people leave, and it's life. But the story that I was telling myself about what happened to me, today I know that it was for me, right? But the story that I was telling myself caused the pain, and it was the main reason why I moved, running away from the pain at that time.
Yeah, I can feel that, not only see that. This is what we were elaborating on our very first episode, and I gave it a name, self-hypnosis. Now, what I mean by that, as you mentioned in what you just said, we are conditioned and structured by our environment, right? From the very little age, as we are growing as a children, we are programmed by our parents, first of all, then school, environment, friends, etc. And we don't know any better way, because we believe, and it is that way, that especially our parents are giving us the best that they can from what they have. If they would know any better, they would give us any better. But there will come point in our life where we begin to wonder, is this all there is? There sure has to be something more. And I'm glad you structured what you said the way you said it, because I would like to ask, as you mentioned that you were in a state of mind that made you believe to the story that you have created, what did you have to overcome to start changing that? Because for our audience or whoever is watching, we are in a progress of self-development 10 to 15 to 20 years, right? To see us now is very different than it was at the beginning. As any successful person at the moment that we can see, either on social media or in our life, we can see only the result, but we don't see the bigger picture. So what were your beginnings that you had to overcome to start switching your mind?
I love that question because like you said at the very beginning, I'm from Poland, and I was born way before you probably, and I didn't have access to any. There was, like you said, no YouTube, but I didn't have even internet. My first computer or the computer, the big, the big one, this heavy, I probably got because I was in university. So I was already like 18 years old or 20. I don't remember. I'm so adult. So I didn't know what is really self-development, because it what actually helped me later on to change my mindset. But I heard about Tony Robbins, and I know that you are talking about him too. It was the first book that I read back in Poland, not really understanding what he's talking about. And I think you shared the same experience. But then, and the blessing, it's what I noticed. Sometimes the blessing in these challenging situations is that the world is opening, the universe is opening for us doors that we would never step into or through if that situation wouldn't happen. If my breakup wouldn't happen, I wouldn't come to US, and I would not learn about self-development the way I did. It was still very difficult for me, this adjusting to new country with what I call broken English, broken heart, and even trying to belong. Do I even belong here? I'm just immigrant. All these little limiting stories were so loud and noisy in my head, especially when the stuff was not going the way I wanted. The promotions that I wanted didn't come. So I was like, oh, it's me, it's me, it's me. And at some point, I realized that even I was working already online on courses, reading books, I realized that it's not enough, that sometimes we need someone, some guide, some mentor that will take our hand and say, hey, I see you where you can't see yourself right now, but believe me, trust me, borrow my belief in you, and I will guide you and I will show you, and you can overcome that challenges. So it's what I did. I hired a mentor, and it would help me. The biggest help that came to me, it was by hiring a mentor that showed me the ways that I can, and it's very important what helped me with other stuff, to educate myself about myself. I had to learn who Beata really is in the core, in very deep down. So all the stories that I adopted from my parents or society culture is that I can peel off like an onion and see, oh, it does not belong to me. I just adopted and just created even stronger belief about that. So again, mentor is what helped me to step into the next challenges and changes in my life.
I love that. And I love what you said, because we are from neighboring countries in Europe, I can relate to culture that we share, because as children growing up, our parents used to have harder life than we have at the moment, or we had. So the paradigm, which is sets of habits and beliefs, which creates program, have programmed us through our parents because they wanted always better and more for ourselves. Yes. Now, there's nothing wrong with the intention of our parents, but they didn't know if that, what they wanted for us, is best for us. So that's how the layers were created at the beginning by society. So our audience understand what we are trying to say. I would like to say just a quick hello to our Facebook audience. I see Tracy Cook is here. Senada Dervisevich is here.
Oh, hi, my friend.
Two beautiful ladies. Thank you for your support. Yes, we do share Tony Robbins as the first person to, I was looking up to him as to a god, right, at the time. I was sharing with Mensur on previous episode, the very first book I bought when I was living in Ireland, and I couldn't read, not alone understand what he was saying. But there was something that was pulling me towards what he was sharing. As we may know, in conversation, words takes only 7% of the whole conversation. Then there are other parts, which is body language, the way you present things. And I always, and I still do, admired the message that Tony is sharing. I'm saying Tony because he was the first. Then after that came our common mentor, Les Brown, which was another skyrocket for a mind. Yes, mentor is very important. Now, some people might ask why mentor is so important. Well, for the same reason as parents are important for children, right? Because when a new baby is born, the baby doesn't know how to talk, how to walk, how to use its limbs. It relies on parents to show him the way. So the same way, if we want to change the circumstances that we have in our life, which we are not happy about at the moment, that means we have to start feeding our mind with new informations, to start doing new daily routines, or implement a new idea into our life to see the new result. There are people that think that, oh, I read that perfect self-development book, my life is going to change all of a sudden. Fortunately, that's not the way it works, right? Because if that would be if this quick way would be it, everybody, as Les Brown is saying, would be skinny, rich, and happy. As you can imagine, for those watching, if you find out in your 30s or 40s that you are living a life that is not really congruent with what you dreamed or believed before when you were in your teens years, it took you some years to come to the point of realizing that you're not satisfied. So it wouldn't really be smart thinking that one self-development book will erase those 15, 20, 30 years. It takes work, right? Some people might think that financial investment is the biggest investment that they have to do when they want to change their state of mind. That's very, very far from the truth. Now, as you said to the question that I asked you what you had to overcome, I would like to ask you, what have you gained along the way in the hard process of self-development, what you wouldn't have experienced if you didn't start with it?
That is always only one word for me: awareness. Awareness that opened the doors to clarity. I always say 3 C's: clarity, confidence, and courage. The awareness opened the doors that I would not walk through if I would not have that mentor, would not learn. And I would just want to go back to what you said about knowledge, because knowledge, and I mean reading books, because what we really get from the books is knowledge, but knowledge without implementation is just an information. And we get information, bombarded by information every single day. So that mentor really helped me to implement the knowledge that I learned from the books before, but also from what he already experienced and he or she could share with me. So the mentor was always ahead of me. And going back to what was the question?
What did you gain?
Gain. Okay, so awareness, yes. So going back to awareness. Awareness opened the doors to clarity. I gained clarity about myself, who I am, what do I really, really want, and why I don't have it by now, who I need to ask for help. Can I do it without myself, without any help? So basically my mind was reprogrammed from looking at the problem and doing nothing with it or be paralyzed into searching for solution. I had to get clear. Do I want to stay in this country? What kind of job I want to do? What I'm doing now is, okay, I like it, but do I love it? No. And if you don't love it, there's always this missing part in your heart. What kind of relationship I want to be right now in? So I have to define so many aspects in my life, write it down. My mentor at that time introduced me to journal writing, and it helped me so much because, as you know, Joe, even Bob Proctor talks about that we think in pictures, in images. Yes. So when you write stuff down, you can see it. You can see where you are lacking the awareness, where you are sticking to stuff that you hate or don't like, or you are just allowing things that are not healthy for you direct your life and lead your life. And the only leader, I believe, in your life should be you, for yourself. So that is the beginning, awareness.
I love that. The only leader in your life should be you. And you elaborated on very important topic, is to start asking yourself the questions, because we might be looking for support or advice outside from ourselves, but that should be limited to gaining awareness that we would like to gain, but the focus should stay inside, right? Because we create from inside out.
Right.
Outside, we can seek only advice and support from people, as you mentioned, mentor, that went through the process already, and they can guide us. Yes. There are people that think, because I was one of them as well, they think that if they will hire a coach or mentor, all their problems are solved. But coach or mentor is not there to hold you 100% by your hand on the way.
Right.
I believe, from my personal experience with my clients as well, a good coach should give you great questions to ask yourself from yourself, let you fall, but stand there beside you to show you how to lift yourself up, right? I believe this quote is relating to Bible. It's way better to teach someone how to fish than to give him a fish just to eat for the day, because he will know how to fish for himself for the rest of the life, right?
Absolutely. And if I can give an example from my mentor, and I think everyone can apply that, I was going through a challenging time, and I was crying. And it's what happens when you're in mentoring or coaching session. You just go through your deepest pains. And so I met my mentor, then she gave me dream work, homework, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't really do it. I was like, this is stupid. This is like, doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's what we say. It's so silly. Like, I need help, not just this silly exercises working on me with this whatever quotes or affirmations. I was like, this is BS. So I didn't do really the work, the inner work. And I came to the next call and I'm crying. And it's like, nothing changed. I'm in this most miserable place ever. I'm done. And I call it like I'm sitting in this rabbit hole and I hate it. And she asked me one question that, oh my gosh, it works for me. I'm wondering what you're gonna say. So she asked me this one question: how long would you like to sit there? Wow, boom, powerful. I was speechless. Like, I don't want to sit there like any minute longer. I said, so what you gonna do about that? You didn't, like, she didn't shame me with that. I didn't do the homework, because homework is not really, she said, important, but you didn't do the work, in the inner work. Same like here, you were just sitting in this place because it's not comfortable, but comfortable enough, and you are not taking any action. So these questions that mentors, or when you read it in book, maybe it can provoke action from you, maybe not. But it's what I heard from her. Oh my gosh, it was really life-changing for me, because I realized that it's on me how long I want to sit there. And some people, as we know, sit in this discomfort, whatever situation, for years, decades, because they just don't want to move, and they don't have anyone who would reach out with the hand, say, hey, it's how long you want to sit there, it's time to move on. And if I can add also, sometimes, because we talk about that, sometimes we go to friends and family and we share our pains and challenges, but if they are never went through something like that, so they will be just very empathic and like, oh, poor you. So they will emphasize the victim in you instead of provoking the victor in you. Because the question is, if life happens, do you want to be a victim or a victor? A victor takes action, victim sits and waits for, please come, God, universe, people come and save me. So it's good to have friends and family, but find a community that will really ask you to and help you to move through whatever you are going through.
Agree 100%. To get out of our comfort zone, we have to break the beliefs that we had before. And I love the example that you gave, because I have two mentors, one in Australia, another one here in Slovakia. They are relating to similar story. And I've seen a video about one African American lady talking about the same thing. I'll put it in a shorter version. If you sit in a shit for too long, it stops smelling. Right. So you'll stop realizing the situation you are in, because you get used to it. As you mentioned, some people, it will take to some people a decade or two to realize. Unfortunately, not to 90% of the people, because they will get used to. They will get used to their small salary that they get. If they can pay their bills, they have food on the table, they can afford some clothes or toys for children, they are satisfied. You should never be satisfied. You should be grateful, as my mentor Bob Proctor is saying, you should be grateful, but never be satisfied. Because if you raise your level of standards, this is from Tony Robbins, it's mix of 15 years of education that we have got, you have the ability to allow other people to learn from your journey. Another way of looking at it is, I believe what Les Brown was saying, once you go through your story, through any particular situation in life, as you mentioned in the beginning, you went through the end of the relationship, and you found a way how to pull through and thrive even after hard circumstances. It is our spiritual responsibility to share it with others, because it might be surviving rope for someone that is going through the same situation at the moment. So what I'd like to paint in a picture from what I'm saying, I believe your and my purpose are very similar, to share and to give what we got in our life, right?
Absolutely, it's our responsibility. And it's what I realized later on when I was growing my awareness, that it's not about me. And when you change the perception, that you stop looking, oh, poor me, you start searching for something bigger than you. And then I discovered, oh my gosh, there are people that are not that aware and they are struggling. What can I do for them? And it was this huge step when I decided to become coach and speaker, right?
Yeah. There's a download question that I just have now, so I'll ask as it's coming. For the female audience, which is the bigger part of my social media on Instagram, they might relate better to information coming from you, right? What advice would you give to a lady, a woman, a girl, it doesn't matter what age it is, that is at the beginning stage of discovering that the life that she is living at the moment is not the one that she always desired, but she might be confused at the moment how to start, where to look, who to ask.
I would start with, well, if she's reading books already, so she knows that help exists. And then I would search for communities and mentors. It doesn't need to be a paid mentor right away, because everyone is saying, I don't want to make that huge investment, which is wrong. I realized later, like in life, that if I would invest in right mentors that are more expensive, back then I would probably be farther, but that's not the point. I'm glad where I am, and it was my path. But find the community and mentors, online communities, local, the growth mindset. I know that there are groups that networking groups that are focused on helping women to grow. Women's Economic Forum. There are many networking groups or self-development groups online that you don't have to pay right away to be a member, but you can put this 1 feet in the water, and see what is it about, because maybe you may decide it's not for me, and that's okay. But I believe, like, when you get hooked and you start seeing that there are people who are thinking more positive, and they are showing you that there is, like you said, Joe, there is something better, there is something more than what I am having now, you are not gonna turn back. You're just gonna move forward. And again, when we start moving, things start happening, people start showing up, the right one, the one that are helping you to grow. So find a community, or online, or in your wherever you live place. There are plenty of them. Or here is a Joe, come on, you have him every day. Go on Instagram, message him. He's giving so much free stuff away. Maybe you're ready for a paid, and it doesn't cost to get on the call and just say, okay, I'm here. It's where I don't want to be anymore. Can you help me to move forward? And he will tell you. Because I don't know if in your case, but I feel like you are this honest person. If I cannot help you, I won't accept you as a client. I will refer you to the right person. And we know so many people in this environment, self-development environment, but I would never hurt you because I went through this path, that I would not keep you as a client just so you pay me. That is so not right.
Yeah, we share another common thing, as we both have went through our spiritual journey as well, separately, to connect closer to nature, because we are part of nature as well. We might elaborate on that on another talk, but I love what you just said. I learned this from my mentor too. There's a lot, so I'll try to cope with it. Mentor, if it's me or Beata or whoever you decide that you feel close to, feeling and vibration is the most important thing that you should be guided by, not what other people are saying, what you feel is right for you. If you feel or think that the books or the free stuff on the internet that you found is not enough, yes, mentor will save you years. It's Beata's personal experience. It's my own personal experience. The very strongest experience that I have is when Bob Proctor came out on a movie Secret. It came to Europe in around 2007. I'm guilty of watching burned out CD or DVD at the time because it was not available to buy. But it is about the information. Now, Beata mentioned that we are sharing a lot of free stuff. Yes, because sharing is caring. And we have found a way to develop our own mind and life through informations that not always were free, but they are free at the moment. In another hand, if you want to move quicker, or you want to move in precise way and save yourself a couple of years, which it could have saved me 14 years if I would have a mentor from 2006, right? I didn't have, so it didn't. Now, the problem there, you might be asking, what was the problem that you didn't have a mentor? Bob Proctor was the only one that I didn't like in the movie Secret, because he was expressing self-love so much that my state of mind at the time couldn't cope with, right? I was looking at Bob and I was like, look at this old man. Why is he kissing his old hand? Is he all right? I loved everybody else in the movie except Bob Proctor. Now, 15 years later, I work for Bob Proctor's organization because I truly believe what he dedicated his life to and shared in his 60 years of his professional and private life has and will change millions of lives around the world. The only problem at the time for me was my own ignorance, which I didn't know that I didn't know about stuff that I didn't know. And I had no one to point me in the right direction, right? So this how important mentor is.
I have similar story. I already moved to US and I was in this deep shit, if I can say that online.
Of course you can.
So, and I was not ready mentally because there was a story for a real mentor, I mean, face-to-face. So I signed up for Tony Robbins. It was some kind of coaching online. I didn't do a lot of that job. So I paid a lot of money at that time, but I did not do because I didn't have a person who would really, stay there with me and say, okay, you didn't follow whatever was assigned to you. But it was because it was annoying. I was unhappy inside and they were happy. And I couldn't understand why they can't be happy when I'm so freaking unhappy. This happiness cannot be real. They are pretending, they are lying to me. I paid for this BS. It's not true. It cannot, no. So I chose ignore huge mentor that I love and follow because of my ego, because of my lack of knowledge at that time and awareness that they are living the truth and I'm living the lie. I chose to live the lie. I like to be a victim at that time. It somehow served me. Poor me, please help me. And it was a video, so they were just, I didn't have interaction with them. So I blame them. It's their fault that whatever they say is not working for me, but I did not put work in. And he was pissing me off and their coaches too, because they were too happy. But isn't it silly? But it's true. Look, like I have clients, they are, for example, going through divorce or went through divorce and they admit it. I hate to see happy couple because I'm unhappy. So I hate to see them happy. But what if we implement that awareness, like, oh my gosh, if they are happy, there might be someone who can help me and I can be happy again. Happiness is an inside job, right? And Bob is teaching us about that too. But sometimes it's very hard to see from the inside of the box. So we need someone who will show us and make us more aware. So I just needed to share that because I had this hate for Tony Robbins and his coaches because they are too happy. It cannot be real.
This is very valuable experience. As Les Brown is saying, you can't see the picture when you are in frame. This is a life example of how the walls that we are building during our life have to be broken. This is one of the very first things that I'm making my own clients aware that this situation will come in the process because it is a part of the process and it has to be done because the walls that you have built around yourself during your life with old beliefs and paradigms first have to be destroyed and demolished before you are ready to see that the change starts from within, that people that are happy, they're not acting that they are happy, they really are. But they have done work for 5, 10, or 15 years prior to your realization that you should start changing something, right? So again, I'll mention the same thing. self-awareness, higher awareness, self-development, it's not only about one book, one course. It's a process, and often really painful process, which will make you realize what you need to change, because what Beata needed to change for herself and what I needed to change for myself might be totally different experiences and paradigms.
Absolutely. And I have to say that, and you know that this is a quote, or I heard that sentence somewhere, but it's so close to my heart. Every next level of your life requires different you. And same with mentors and coaches and books and everything. Every level, so your awareness will take you higher and higher. And for example, today you are working with some, I don't know, John, and he's good for you at this moment, but then you go to the next level, and your next level will be, I don't know, Tony Robbins. So don't be afraid to start somewhere, just start. And I wanted to say something else, but I forgot. So I guess wasn't important.
It's happening to me often as well. There might be a reason, because sometimes we're still translating from our native language into English.
Right.
We want to express, but that's okay too. Yes, I will connect that to the goals, right? Because when you want to build a new version of yourself, you have to set some GPS point for yourself where you want to go. And if you have a new goal and or new destination, or you want to have a new relationship, you want to get a house or a higher paying job, or whatever the goal might be for yourself, you need guidance there. It doesn't necessarily mean that it should be from me or from Beata. You need guidance from someone that can guide you towards that goal that you have set for yourself. And that person should have gone the road that you are starting on, right? So this is why it's important as well to keep upgrading your goals, upping your game, and looking for people that can get you there. Very easy to understand this is if we take into consideration when a child is 3 years of age in Europe. I don't know how about in America. It starts in the kindergarten. There's one type of teachers for kindergarten that deals with core and basic stuff that children should learn. Then when they move to junior school, we have a different types of teachers that start teaching kids how to hold a pen, how to start first lines that will later on will become first letters. Then we have another teachers that have higher education, that they teach higher level of knowledge. Then you go through middle school or university, then you go to college, etc., etc. The principle is the very same. The higher you want to go, you might get a different mentor, or you might get the same mentor, because as I know about ourselves, self-development is not once-off learning. We keep paying mentors and coaches for ourselves to upgrade our own mindset, because even though we are at the level of knowledge and awareness that is here at the moment, that's not our deadline or finishing line. We want to raise our knowledge and awareness to serve and be able to share with more people, right?
Absolutely, yes. And the Tony Robbins story is I reach out to the level of awareness that I was not quite ready for, but like I could use the context later, so I use the materials later in my life, but it relates to what you're saying. Like you have to have someone who will help you with the current goal. Then the goal goes higher, you hire someone else, or maybe it's the same person. But just I think I like that statement that I heard was said to me one time: start before you are ready. Yeah. So start somewhere, you know. If you feel like you're not in a place in your life that you are happy, and this happiness, it doesn't mean, right, Joe, that we have to be like, oh yeah, life is excellent, oh my gosh. No, it's not, at least for me. Happiness is being okay with where you are, and sometimes the life is gonna be hard, gonna bring challenges, and you might cry and you might, curse, and it's what I do sometimes, and be upset, but then you give yourself this, you go to this rabbit hole for a couple minutes, day or two, and then say, okay, I'm ready to face that challenges and reach the goal that is so important to me, that I'm not gonna quit. And it's not quitting on your goal, it's quitting on you, right? It's what we learn when we go through it. We never quit on the goals. When we quit on us because we don't believe that we can achieve it.
This is the gold in self-development, right? Because every single person on this planet is gonna have situations, the problems will come, relationships will have its obstacles that you need to overcome. Your kids will act crazy. Your employer or your boss or your business partner will do something crazy that you have to cope with. But the difference between person that does nothing for his mind and the one that is learning how to widen their awareness is you have tools and experience how to handle the situation. You don't have to react anymore. You can respond. Even if it requires, as you mentioned, Beata, that you can go into rabbit hole for a day or two. Yes, but with the gained knowledge, you know that that's about it. The deadline is maximum 2 years, and you have to then raise back yourself up again and continue, because we grow through failures, but that doesn't mean that we are failure. Just the plan that we chose at the time didn't work out. But you have gained experience and knowledge through that failure as well, which will put another brick onto another brick that is going to bring you closer to your destination. Some people, because I was that person as well, might say, money is not the final destination for me, or I don't care about house, I don't care about, I don't know, holiday or whatever material thing it might be. Goals are not to gain the thing. The most important part of setting a goal is who you will become in the process of reaching that goal, because the goal might change along the way, but you're not starting from point zero where you did nothing to start, but you're starting from the position that you came already to, right?
Absolutely. And with developing yourself and getting to know who you are, your standards are changing. You want more, and you said the money is not like some people, and it's what I used to say back in time with my Polish limited money mindset, because there was, I was born during lived through communism. There was not enough, the youngest of four, so also the money was tight. So I thought money, and it was told, the cultural stuff, the money is not important, but it is important, because if you have more money, you can help more people. Because in self-development, when you become the higher version of yourself, the money is not anymore about you. Just, it's not having bigger house and more cars. It's about how I can use this money to help others. So it's how I see it.
I love what Pitbull is saying, you know, the Cuban singer.
Okay.
People are saying that money can't make you happy. Yes, they can. You just have to give it away.
Absolutely.
Right?
I love
because
it.
With money as a form of energy, you can instantly erase problems or situations for people that are close to you, because you are in a position to help them. But if I'll reflect that to my traveling within the last 2 years, I've been in Mexico, in Africa, in Spain, etc. I have met a lot of people that I was fortunate to be able to bless or help them just with a little bit, because I had the opportunity to have money on me at the time. If I was still sitting, as most people that I met through my life, in the same town, in the same job, coming from work, going to a pub just to have a beer, to go home, sleep, and repeat the same system again, I would have never experienced those things. And if you don't experience better life, you can't share better experience with people or tell them that there is more than what they are used to. Because,
but also, sorry to disturb you, but also when you don't taste, when you never taste better life, you don't know that it exists. So you don't even desire, you don't know what you are desiring. Yeah. You just think, oh, I'm in this shitty situation, my life. So you are a complainer, but you don't even know what better life would taste like. And the money that you said allowed you to travel. And I don't know if you agree, but I was blessed I travel a lot, and I still travel, and I love it. But the biggest lesson that I get from traveling is to see how other people live and their kindness and their struggles, and see how the gratitude in me is like, oh my gosh, I'm blessed, I'm thankful. But also I learn from them that the life is not only about the running after money, but actually sharing that money with them. So
absolutely,
so many lessons.
My background, Beata, is poor as well. Growing up, we were 4 kids in a family raised by a single mother. So I was not used to any higher standard, right? Yes. But this, what you call the holiday in English language that is in April.
April Fool?
No, holiday.
Holiday? Oh, Easter?
Yeah, sorry, thanks. Easter. On Easter, I was in Zanzibar in Tanzania, in Africa, right? And to see children with what they have and being happy just to get a fruit, a lollipop, something that our children take for granted, right, is experience that you will never compare to money, but money will allow you to experience that, right? Because people that are living all their life only in one place, doing only one job, they know only their own story that they have created themselves. Now, nobody made the decision for you. Initially, maybe someone suggested what you should do, but when you agreed with it, and you stayed in that, that's your own decision that you didn't change your life, right? So you have no right to be complaining about your environment or circumstances, or my parents did this or did that. After the age of 20, you are responsible for your own choices and decisions in your life. But if I'll bridge that back to the children, these experiences will stay with you for the rest of your life when you travel and you see how people with literally nothing can be kind, generous, and grateful for something that we take for granted. That's the time when you realize how wasteful complaining about life is. Because unless you see real struggle in life, you think that your struggle is the worst.
Absolutely. And it's what, the victim mode comes from. You feel like you are the only one who is struggling with whatever you're going through. No, you're not. And I don't want to bring that conversation to that there are worse situations, because when we are in the rabbit hole, we think that we are the only one. But education and traveling and getting to know people, that having mentors, like to wrap this up, it's what opens your mind and strips you from these limiting stories that sometimes you live your entire life in. And I think the awareness and the open minded, the open mind that I have right now, this is my happiness. Like, oh my gosh, I would never, all what I went through, and it was tough sometimes, I would not take it back, because it helped me to become who I am today. And I love how you're saying it's not about you, it's who are you becoming. And I'm still becoming, and I will be becoming till I die. And I want to share my experiences, my awareness with others, and like you, to share with them that there is more than, and your current, I love that saying, the current situation is not your final destination only, when you decide that it's not.
Absolutely. So you should be aware of decisions that you're making, because not making a decision is a decision as well.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
For people that liked this talk, I am sure that you can see Beata's details on the bottom of the screen. Beata Seweryn-Reid, Joe Kohler is my name. You can find us on any social medias if you want advice or talk to us, or just to seek for direction, which way we might be able to assist you or help you. You're free to ask. Beata, I would like to very much thank you for your time, wisdom, and experience, and most of all, your vibration and energy that you shared with all of our audiences. And I'm looking to another possibility for me to speak with you at the same stage.
I will be honored, and I know that we're gonna be on a real stage one day together, not just
very soon.
Yes.
Probably I will have to come to US. I'm working on that in my mind. Yeah, we will definitely.
We never know, right? We never know, because opportunities come like out of nowhere sometimes. So we never know. Wherever it is, we will be there, because it's already there, as we know, in the universe.
Yeah.
So it's already there. We just need to align with it. And it was really, really my honor to be here today. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you, Beata. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.